Good afternoon to all the viewers of this program who watch us in the English language, whether it's for the very first time or have subscribed to our channel from before and are normal viewers of the program. Let's start with sending the link for this program into our Telegram page so that anybody who wants to catch it live can follow us. And I can also view it from my phone as well to make sure that everything is working. Let me send greetings to everybody who's going to be writing in the chat while the program is going on, because I won't be able to see your chat. So I'm going to say hello and good afternoon to all of you now, so that I would be answering you for when you write what you want to write. All right, let's go back into share screen and share with you where we left off about Musa al-Kazim, the sadistic serial killer. Last week, if you remember, we were talking about the 4th chapter of the Quran and how it is giving rights to Musa al-Kazim to have a incest pedophilia relationship with his own daughters, and where he got the rights of having slave girls. So now we will continue and look at some more and connect all of these together. So we are going to the next verse, which would have been the verse previous to the last two from the same chapter, An-Nisa, the 4th chapter, verse 23. Here's the Arabic. Remember, in Arabic, the word for marriage is the waj. Nowhere in here in the Arabic do you find the word is the waj. It is not there. But in the English, every time they want to talk about a fucking contract, they talk about marrying or marriage. So let's see what this verse is telling us. Also, forbidden for you for marriage, the fucking contract, are your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your paternal and maternal aunts, your brother's daughters, your sister's daughters, your foster daughters, your foster sisters, your mother-in-laws, okay, your stepdaughters under your guardianship. If, here we go, see? If, this if is very important. If, meaning there is a loophole that all of what was just forbidden for you is no longer forbidden. If you have consummated your fucking contract with their mothers. Meaning what? Your mother over here is only forbidden for you for a fucking contract if you had an fucking contract with your mother's biological mother, meaning your grandmother. Only if, okay? And it gets worse. You see, it says consummated, meaning you had to do the deed. No? You had to take your grandmother, pick her up, throw her in the bed, make her make the V sign, and you go in there and you come out with your semen dripping due to what you did to her. I mean, we got to tell the truth. We got to explain it to you word for word. We got to open it up. So when you just read it, you don't just read it. You understand what's going on with what you're reading. There's only a few channels that I know of that will do what I'm doing. But I'll sit there and I'll go sentence by sentence, dissecting it for you. Others might just skim right over it and tell you what it is. But I know for Muslims, because the first degree that Islam gives you when you become a Muslim is that you become dumbed down to the point where you don't understand. You get the degree of, I don't understand. You never understand. So we have to put more time into it, break it down for you, and go bit by bit and really explain to you what is going on. And for you, the non-Muslims who speak English or understand English, I mean, this is something so strange to you that you can't gather your mind around it to think that there is actually a group of people that would do such a thing, because it's not part of any culture other than the Islamic culture, to see something like this as okay, let alone actually do it. You don't find anyone in Japan having sex with his own mother. If you found someone there doing that, you'd say this person needs to be put in a mental institution. So does the mother. I mean, look at what they're doing. You don't go to any African country where the person is not a Muslim and find them doing this with their mothers. You don't go to any South American country and see the guy grab his mother and throw her in the bed and start. You don't see that in Europe. You don't see that in the West here. You don't see that anywhere except with the Muslims. You can grab your own daughter and toss her in the bed. You can grab your sister and toss her in the bed. You can grab your aunts, toss them in the bed. You can grab your aunt's daughters and toss them in the bed. You can grab anybody. Why? Because when it came to your mother, you didn't sign an FUCKING contract and consummate that contract with her mother, making it your grandmother. And because you didn't do that to your grandmother, now all of these people are allowed. But, look, there's a but now. If you have not, then you can marry them. Them who? Your mother. By marriage here, it means FUCKING contract. Your mother, your aunt's daughters, your own daughters, your supposed FUCKING contract, loosely said, wife's daughters, all of them. All of them. Your foster mother, your foster sister, your mother-in-law, your stepdaughters that are under your guardianship. You can do it all. Just grab them. Let's go in the bedroom. Hold their dress over their head. Bend them over. And you know the rest. I always say to you guys, you know, especially the Christian ones, they'll be like, oh, is he okay? Why is he talking like that? Because we have to talk like that's what it is. I mean, what am I going to say? I'm going to talk to you about honey and raspberries? What do you want me to tell you? I got to explain to you what Islam is. And I'm not going to sugarcoat or make up new sentences and words. I'm going to explain to you exactly what Islam is. Because Islam is taking over your countries. And it's not Santa Claus coming to town. It's Sharia law coming to town. And when Sharia law comes to town, you'll end up having read the news or heard the news that so-and-so was living in their house. And over the night, somehow, so-and-so living in their own house had their head separated from their body in their own bed. And the police have now found this person with their head separated from their body. And they don't know how it happened. I guess from that point on, we will have to put into the scientific modern science of medical studies that when people go to bed, sometimes it just happens that their heads pop off. Because, you can't say that the Muslim did this because of his religion. Just like in France and Germany and many other places, where the Muslim will yell, Allahu Akbar, and he'll stab you in the neck. And then the police will come and say, this was not religious related. This man just was upset. And then the person will go in front of the court and they'll give him a tap on the wrist. So next time, don't do that, okay? And they let him out. And Sharia will continue to come to town. So I got to speak the way I do so that you understand what's going on. So when they try to bring Sharia to town, you can stand in front of it. So that you can go to your Muslim friend and you can record some of what I say and show it to them. Tell them, what is this? And when they try to fool you, you'll be like, we know better. And you won't be fooled. Supposedly here, if they say marriage, they thought they will fool you and it will sound better than F-U-C-K-I-N-G, contract. You know what's the difference? If you marry your mother or you have a F-U-C-K-I-N-G contract with your mother, what's the difference? Do you see a difference? At the end of the day, you're doing it with your mother. Muslims don't know this. They don't read it. They read the Arabic. They read this part here. You see this part here? They read this majority of the time, 99% of the time. Muslims read that incorrectly because it's not their mother tongue, but they've been told to read it from when they were little kids, so they kind of memorized something that they were told they have to read the way that the guy who told them to read it said so, and the guy who told them to read it, he himself does not know how to speak Arabic, does not know how to pronounce these words correctly. So when these people try to pronounce it afterwards, they pronounce it incorrectly, and they think that they're pronouncing it correctly, and they read that Arabic that you see there highlighted, and they don't bother to read this bottom portion in their own language. And if they did, this bottom portion, just like in English over here, where you see that it's full of mistakes such as marriage and marry, has been done directly to confuse them and hide the true meaning. Even though by hiding the true meaning, it still sounds just as bad. But it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. It gets worse. Really worse. Here we see, but if you have not, then you can marry them, nor the wives of your own sons. Okay? Remember that. Cannot marry the sons, the wives of your sons, nor two sisters together at the same time. Except, oh, there we go. There's another except. I mean, he just told you, do not marry your son's wife. Do not sign a fucking contract with your son's wife. I mean, imagine you have your son, Jim. And then Jim supposedly has a FUCKING contract with a woman that's living with him in his house. And when Jim is at work, you come and knock on the door. And when she opens the door, you jump in like a bear. And you tell her now she has to sign a FUCKING contract with you. And you take her to the bed, toss her in the bed, the legs make a victory sign, and you continue doing what you want to do. Boom, 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 until you satisfy. Or you go, you find two sisters, biological sisters, and you take one at 11 p.m., and when you leave her house, you go to the other one's house, and you start with the other one at 12 p.m., right? Back to back. First, they told you you're not allowed, but now here's the except. Hold on, there's an except. So let's see what the except is. What was done previously. Meaning, if you did this before you read this verse, and, because, you have to stretch the and. Like Vivek Ramaswamy, how when he talks, he has to stretch the last word. Country. What we can do. Every sentence he says, the last word, he has to stretch it because, it sounds nice to your ears. That's the con artist way of talking. The con artist way of talking is whenever you're saying something, you want to fool the mind of the person so they don't pay attention to exactly your words. You stretch the last one so that their mind goes to the stretched word and they temporarily forget what you said. And then you can start your next sentence, stretch the last word, start a sentence, stretch the last word, start a sentence, stretch the last word, start a sentence, stretch the last word. You'll get 100 sentences in, and the person still doesn't know what you said. All they can remember is the last words that you stretched. And they kind of found that, interesting. It sounds different. It sounds different. That's Vivek Ramaswamy, the con artist. You need fresh legs. You need country. They'll just stretch it for you. Stretch. Huh? Same thing here. Oh, you didn't know. Oh, you didn't understand. Oh, you didn't listen to Dr. Mossavat explaining the verse. You didn't understand what was going on. Oh, it's okay now. How do we know it's okay? Surely Allah is all forgiving and merciful. See, Allah in Islam, they didn't create you contrary to what the mullanas, the clergymen, the ayatollahs, the muftis, the ayatollah ala ubamas want to tell you, your imams in the mosque, when they tell you, in Islam, you were created as the Abdul, as the slave for the God, so you can pray and worship the God. No, it wasn't like that at all. In Islam, you were created so you can do mischievous acts, and after you've performed them, so you can turn around and say, forgive me, God, because I did not know. And then God will respond to you and say, all forgiving, all merciful, go with your life, go. You were created to do sin and just simply ask for forgiveness. That's what you were created for. We go to the next verse. In the same Quran. You see, you have to connect the verses to each other in a certain way so you can get a full meaning out of each one. Same chapter, the 4th chapter, the 3rd verse. Here's the Arabic of it, and here's the English. If you fear might fail, you fear that you might fail. Fail what? You're not taking the test. To give orphan women. First of all, this is not a woman, it's a child. You do not have an orphan woman, you have orphan children. Because when you're a woman, you are old enough to take care of yourself. Hence, you can't be an orphan anymore. You're an adult. The word orphan is used for kids who cannot take care of themselves. I mean, you don't go up to a 50-year-old person and tell him, you're an orphan because your parents are dead. He's going to look at you and say, you know, I have kids. My kids have kids. You know, I'm a grandpa, right? You're going to go to somebody's grandparents and you're going to say, hey, orphan, how you doing today? Doesn't it sound funny? And in here, you don't find this person being called woman. There is no word as women in the sense that you use women in English. But why do they put women here? Because they don't want you to know that this verse is talking about you committing pedophilia. The word used here is al-nisa, right here. You see the word highlighted, al-nisa? Al-nisa is female. In reality, it means female here. So it's a female orphan. A female orphan means a child, a girl, a little baby. Muhammad has now sent his army. They go and attack somebody's farm, somebody's kibbutz, like Hamas did. They kill the parents. All the male are dead. They rape the mothers and some they cut into pieces. Some they take captives. And the little babies are left there. And now they gather the babies. The war is over. They brought them to their cities like Hamas did. And you say, wait. Why you say that the Muslims are, look, Hamas is doing exactly this verse. What Hamas did on October 7th is exactly this verse. They're following word for word what this verse says to do. First, you make the child an orphan. Okay. Now you want to, take care of the orphan child, meaning you want to give it a roof over its head. You want to put some food in its stomach and some clothes on its body. 3 things. But now you fear that you may not be able to do these 3 simple things for this little child. So, what does Islam, according to the words, direct words of Allah, the God of Islam, what does Islam tell you to do for this orphan child? Very good. If you fail to give the orphan child their due rights, the due rights are food in the stomach, clothes on their back, roof over their head. Three things. If you were to marry, again, there is no izdawaj in here. So if you were to sign a FUCKING contract with them, sign a FUCK contract with them, then marry. On top of that, sign a FUCKING contract with other women of your choice in twos, threes, fours. But if you are afraid, you will fail to maintain justice. Justice. It didn't say maintain what kind of justice? Towards the female? Towards the child that you were doing pedophilia with? What kind? What justice? What justice? What justice? Exactly what we're talking about. Okay, let's give you an example. You married 4 women. You had a FUCKING contract with 4 women, right? And then you took 10 orphan females, babies, and you signed an FUCKING contract with them. Now you got 14 females and you. Now you have 7 days during the day. According to your clergymen in Islam, they will tell you the justice here means you give everyone equality. Okay, you have 7 days and 14 females. That means on every day, you have to split your day 12 hours with one, 12 hours with the other. Don't you have to at least walk from one house to the other? So one of them just lost some time. Are you going to be awake 24 hours, 7 days a week? Or are you going to sleep at some point? So you just lost some more time because you weren't awake, you were sleeping. That's not fair. You were awake with one and then you're sleeping when you get to the other house. So you just lost some more time. Are you going to sit there and actually listen to them talk and tell you about the day? No. Okay. This justice we're talking about here is the justice of your penis. If your penis is firm and up, then you can do justice to your penis, satisfy your penis. But if you cannot do that, then content yourselves. The men who are marrying them, this is for you. This is the justice for the men. He's talking to the men. With one, just get one. If you can't have a firm penis that just stands up and salutes the flag all the time, then get one. But if your penis is strong, a real man's penis, manly man's penis, then go ahead and get them all. This verse has no value for the woman. In fact, it doesn't even want to call them. Go get them in 2s and 3s and 4s. If I tell you about a pen, right? If I tell you, hey, go get the pen. And I tell you, go get 2 pens or go get 3 pens. At the end, I'm telling you pens, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm giving value to the pen by actually acknowledging that I'm talking about a pen. Anything we talk about, we acknowledge it. If I tell you, go get me 3 pieces of paper, I say paper. I acknowledge that it's paper. I give it that value, that it is a paper. But in Islam, Allah, the God of Islam, doesn't value women enough to mention women. It says twos and threes and fours, one. Or those bond women, slaves that are sex slaves. Okay? Because we got slave and we got sex slaves. The sex slaves that are in your possession. You can have as many of them as you want. You were taught your whole life in the West, oh, Muslims can marry 4 women. Who told you that? Who was the donkey that taught you such a lie? You can have sexual contracts, F-U-C-K-I-N-G, with up to 4 women who are free. On top of those, you can have as many sex slaves as you want. And on top of those, you can have F-U-C-K-I-N-G contracts with as many little girls as you want, according to this verse. Who wrote this verse? Allah, the God of Islam, wrote this verse. Who revealed this verse? Muhammad, the Prophet of Allah, revealed this verse. Who's your clergyman compared to Muhammad and Allah? It gives you the green light to stick your penis in whatever you feel like sticking it into. Then you find out in Yemen, you know, the same Yemen that recently got bombed, you find out that 9% of all marriages in Yemen are done with girls under the age of 15. Then you find out in Afghanistan, they're literally selling. Like the parents, they bring their kids in a room and they sell the kids. And they tell their kids, till your age is even younger. Like the 6-year-old, they hit him in the head and say, why you said 6? Say 4. You're 4 years old. And then that half Iranian, half American, Daniel Haqiqat Jew, you know, the big defender of Islam in the West, who likes to do debates, Daniel Haqiqat Jew, will come and answer, well, I mean, if a 5-year-old has shown that she's matured, it's up to the parents. It's up to the parents. The parents have to okay it. If they okay it, yes, then you can marry it. Yeah, you can marry it. Of course, the Muslim parent will okay it. You think a Muslim is going to go against this verse? You know what happens when the Muslim goes against this verse? They will be labeled as those that left Islam. Those that are now at war with Allah, the God of Islam. Those that are at war with the Prophet of Islam. And that means that now they can be charged with the punishment of death. So of course the parent will say, yeah, take it. That's why in Iran they'll marry the girl early. In most parts. That's why in Pakistan they marry little kids. That's why the guy from Saudi will fly all the way to Indonesia so he can pick up a 7-year-old kid and call it his new wife. But in reality, it's a F-U-C-K-I-N-G contract because it's a nikah, not a izdawaj. And you find this all over the Islamic world. Right there. You see it in your screen. We have it for you. And now, let's go to the next guy. Abu al-Sariya joins the revolt. What revolt? The revolt against the Abbasid Khalifa during the time of Musa al-Kazim. Musa al-Kazim needs soldiers, ladies and gentlemen. He's too chicken to fight himself, but he wants others to fight for him. The revolt became very firm and dangerous. Oof, firm. Because, you know, all these clergymen, they're all bisexuals. And the only thing in their mind is a firm penis. And this firmness, I mean, they learned the word and now they can't forget it. They're attracted to the firm, you know, they want everything firm. Have you ever had a firm war, a firm battle? Like, what are you doing? Are you when you're fighting with the guy, are you caressing his body, feeling his muscles, you know, grabbing him by the buttocks and give it the little squeeze? Oh, it's nice and firm. Ah. Well, what are you doing? What kind of firm is this? I mean, we use the word a hard battle, a tough battle, but a firm battle and dangerous, When Abu al-Saraya joined it, oof, it was very firm and very dangerous. I mean, it was so firm. I mean, you had to watch your buttocks because you never knew, man. You were fighting, and then somebody else ran into you, and the next thing you know. And then you'd be like, you know, it was like that. It was a battle like that, you know. You never knew what was happening in that battle, man. I mean, these guys, they're so intoxicated with this, they would put the Spartans to shame. Like the Spartans would look at these guys and say, man, I thought we were the bisexual. I mean, you guys, you just took the cake. I mean, look at that. I mean, we have nothing on you guys. You know, the Spartans. Like, if you don't know the Spartans, we will have another course for you and we'll teach you about the Spartans. In this university, we teach everything. Abu al-Saraya was an Alawi. Now you might ask, what the hell is an Alawi? Where did that come from? Alawis are a small group of Shia Muslims, not to be mistaken with the Ithna Asharis, which is the majority sect. The Alawis are a very minority sect. Mostly now you can find them in Syria. Bashar al-Assad is an Alawi, for example. His whole family is Alawi. Alawis believe that when Allah told his archangel Jibreel to come back down to earth one last time to declare the last prophet, when Jibreel came down, Jibreel could not tell the difference between a 40-year-old adult male Muhammad and a 7-year-old child named Ali, and therefore mistakenly gave the title of prophethood to Muhammad when it should have gone to Ali. And then this Allah character, who's supposed to be God, did nothing as this error was committed and allowed the error to stay, though in reality, Ali is supposed to be their prophet, but now they got Muhammad, so they're stuck with Muhammad. So title-wise, Muhammad has the prophethood, but reality-wise, Ali is the prophet. So you don't know what the hell is going on. There's some nonsense they made up. You can't back it up with Islamic sources because Muhammad did not say something like that. Neither did Ali, nor did the friends and family members of Muhammad, the Sahaba, or Ahl al-Bayt. Nobody said it. But this group of Alawis think they know best. And when you say to them, show us your documentation, no, we have to hide it. We can only share our documentation with ourselves. Wow. Alawis for you, Alawi. So now, according to the author of this book, this Abu al-Suraya is supposedly an Arab, is an Alawi, and he showed great friendship, great love for the Alawis. Well, of course, I mean, he's Alawi. How can he not love himself? I mean, my cat loves itself. And she's only a cat. I mean, he can do exactly what a cat does, I guess. Felt pain and violence and persecution that had befall them. Of course, because the Abbasid family is now going around cleaning up all the idiots who call themselves Muslims and are doing all kind of stuff that's outside the realm of Islam. Example, Alawis. They're cleaning them up. They're telling them, what the heck is this thing that you guys are starting? This is not Islam. Come back to the fold of Islam. The stupidity of Jibreel, the angel, makes a mistake between a 40-year-old man and a 7-year-old child. I mean, this is ridiculous. Nobody would make that mistake. How could you expect the angel to make such a mistake? You know? And so they were trying to clean these guys up, according to the story that we've been told so far, right? Did his best. Who did his best? Abu al-Suraya did his best to overthrow the Abbasid government and to hand it over to the Alawis. He wanted to hand it to the Alawis. Okay. We will briefly speak of the affairs of this inspired great leader. Now he's a great leader. He's an Akbar Rahbar. So now they compared him with other people and they made him great. So we should ask the Muslims, who are you comparing Allah to when you say Allah is great, when you say Akbar, Akbar? How did he become great? Who did you compare him to? I thought you say you only have one Allah. Sounds like you have many Allahs. We'll briefly speak about the affairs that inspire with this great leader. He was al-Surabi al-Mansur. Who was al-Surabi al-Mansur? Abdul al-Suraya. Okay, look, how many names he's got. Abdul al-Suraya. His other name is al-Sari bin Mansur. Okay, remember, there's two names. He's from the Banu Shayban. Okay, Banu means the tribe. Shayban is the name of the tribe, right? Shayban sounds more Persian than it does Arabic. Who were from among the children of Hani bin Masud. Okay, now this Persian tribe is coming out of some Arab people. I mean, yeah, my unborn child was born in Mexico, and his eyes, when you look at him, looked Japanese, and his skin color, when you looked at him, he looked black like he came out of Congo. And his hair, he looked like he had the blonde hair from Sweden. Yeah. Because, that's how it works. You don't look like your parents. You don't look like the people of your country when you're born, and then you just look like something from somewhere else, right? That's how it works, right? I mean, you get the Persian names, and you're supposedly Arab. Okay. It was said that he belonged to, it was said that he belongs to Banu Tamim, which is now Arab. So did he belong to the tribe of Shayban, or did he belong to the tribe of Banu, the tribe of Tamim? I see from the descendants of Hani bin Masud, or is he not from the descendants of Hani bin Masud? I mean, who is he from? Get your facts straight. It was said. In English, every time we say it was said, it means we have no facts, no figures, nothing, no proof. It was said that there was a time long ago that Fred Flintstone used to sit on dinosaurs. It was said. Who said it? Who cares? It was said. All right. Who lived in the Arab Peninsula. And you can search all of the Arab world. Go ahead. Find me the peninsula. Where is this old peninsula? We don't have any. I mean, a peninsula is a body of land that from 3 different locations of it is ocean. One side of it is connected to land. Saudi doesn't have it. Yemen doesn't have it. Oman doesn't have it. Kuwait doesn't have it. Bahrain doesn't have it. Yemen doesn't have it. Jordan doesn't have it. Syria doesn't have it. Iraq doesn't have it. Oh, wait. Back then, Iraq was not Arab. Syria was not Arab. Jordan was not Arab. Kuwait was not Arab. Bahrain was not Arab. Oman was not Arab. The eastern side of Saudi Arabia was not Arab. Oh, well, what peninsula are we talking about here? Another lie. He was raised for a period of time in the eastern part, in the eastern part of the river Euphrates. So he was Iranian. Well, look where the Euphrates is. East of it is Iran. So he was Iranian. Okay. He took part in many battles and practiced their operation. Did he take part or was he practicing? You don't practice in war. What was he doing? Target practice? I mean, they took him in front and they told him, go ahead and war. And he took his bow and arrow and he was looking at a tree and he was trying to take aim so he'll be good at shooting, yeah? In the middle of war. He was practicing. It's clergymen of Islam. They just, they got no brains. They just write for the sake of writing, fill the words in, make the book long. If it becomes big and thick and firm, it must be good. You know, if it's not big and thick and firm, it's no good. He was on the side of the leader Yazd ibn Mayzad. Okay. Even the name is for Persian. Yazd is the name of the city in Iran today. Okay. Here they're calling it Yazid, but it's really Yazd. Bin Mayzad. You know, this Yazd was the son of Mayzad. Okay. In Armenia. At that time, Armenia was a part of Iran. Now they've separated it from Iran. Congratulations for you. Fighting against the Khoramiya. Even this Khoramiya sounds Persian. What the heck happened here? Now we get the full picture. This poor guy was fighting to get Iran back from the Arab invaders, who at that time happened to now have a new regime under the Khilafat of the Banu Abbasids, the governmentship of the Abbasids. So this guy was fighting against those Iranians that were employed by the Abbasid Khilafat to crack down on the Iranians, suppress the Iranians, and make the Iranians be ruled by Arabs. So he was fighting them in order to free Iran and be able to gain forces so that Iran could once again be freed from occupiers who are Arab. But the mullahs, the clergymen, decide to hijack the story, hijack actual history, add in there that the guy was an Alawi, add in there that this was a fight for Islam, add in there that this is for Musa al-Kazim, forget the actual story, and make up their own. This is what they do everywhere. That's why everybody's Palestinian now. Jesus is Palestinian. The Jews are also Palestinians. I mean, God created in Islam, Allah created the heaven, the earth, and a Palestinian. The stories of the mullahs. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll end it here because that's how far we got with the Iranian version in Persian. If you like our program and you find that this is valuable for you, if you find that you're learning things you've been never told before, then do me a huge favor. Take your finger and click on the subscribe button in your phone. Use your mouse if you're using a computer or a laptop or something. Click on the subscribe. Join us. Click on the link tree. Join me everywhere else, especially in Telegram and Twitter. Share these programs, like these programs, leave comments at the end of the programs. And until tomorrow, when we do another English program, I leave you in the hands of Jesus. Stay away from Islam. It's a very dangerous religion, and it will have